I'm a junior at high school right now in Mansukh Kothari National School, Pune, and I'm currently studying science. And my goal is to pursue an undergrad on computer science in US universities. And something that I'm really passionate about is computer science and specifically data science. I really am interested in how data analytics work and how data scientists proceed with analyzing data and all. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
And so what are your main questions here? So the reason why I'm asking you, if you, and I'm assuming you want to pursue your higher studies in US in some university undergrad or something, right? From your email.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So my question to you is, because that process is pretty straightforward, what are your questions regarding that?
Yes, sir. So as I've sent you my CV, you have seen that my ninth and 11th grade marks are pretty low, and I have talked to my counselor about the college list and which all colleges I should apply to, and they have said that I shouldn't go for Ivy Leagues and liberal art colleges, and for liberal art colleges, they are saying that liberal art colleges have they are usually in a rural area, and they do not have a lot of internship opportunities or job opportunities, which I didn't find really accurate. And then again, also that liberal art colleges give out a lot of financial aids. So about that, and one more thing is Ivy League, because my grades are low. Some people say that I do not have any opportunities or any chance in top colleges, but from what I've seen is like my extracurriculars is pretty strong. Like I have done a YYGS summer program, then I've written a book, then I've done 2 3 research papers, one with a professor at John Hopkins. And one more thing is, I did a internship program with a professor in University of California, Santa Cruz. So these things. Some people say that like these things don't matter, and if you got less marks, these things won't count to get into Ivy Leagues. So my main question to you is like the college list, like which all colleges should I apply, or will these grades really affect a lot of my chances and in a lot of these universities?
Okay. I think what you're saying is Tanish is correct. I don't think your grades, what I see, is gonna matter that much for you to get into Ivy League or and any school for that matter. If they are good, that's good. That's always a positive sign. But I don't think that that's gonna be your main deciding factor. You know what I mean? So it's not like if you don't have 90%, 95%, that's going to be the only deciding factor. You said you have done a couple of things, right? You have written book, you have done some internship, some research papers, and I'm looking at your CV right now. And so looks like you have done research under some Professor Anil, and then fundraising activity and wildlife. So you have done a lot of extracurricular activities, and I think in US and so far what I have seen is these things matter quite a lot, not just grades. So you are correct in saying that that the scholars that the admissions to Ivy League just depends on GPA. If you have other strong areas that you have done already so much work, and that will help you for quite a lot. So I don't think your counselor is correct, as you said. Um, from your email, it also make clears to me that you said your scholarship is important to you.
Yes, sir.
So let me ask you this question then. Hypothetically, let's say you get into a Ivy League. Let's say you get into MIT or Harvard. Let's say, and they are not offering you a scholarship, and you get into a non-Ivy League school, which is not bad, but definitely it's not Harvard or MIT, but they are offering you full scholarship. What would be your decision in that case?
So right now, according to my financial condition,
Mhm.
if I can get a loan, then I would go for MIT or any Ivy Leagues. But if I couldn't, then my main priority will be to go in a college which is, which has a good outcome for my degree, and which is offering me a scholarship.
So let me tell you, Tanish, there are a couple of things, right? So let's say you went to a liberal arts school. Let's say, for example, you went to a degree which has more value. So I'm not sure if your parents are there also listening with it, but just to let them know also the value or the offer, the opportunity that you get after you graduate, just not only dependent on what school you go, it also gonna depend on what degree you are taking, what degree are you pursuing. Okay,
Yes.
so just remember that. So for example, I will give you a very good example. You know about Purdue University, right? It's a very
Yes.
good school. It's in a very rural area. Does not matter that students don't get opportunity from there. They get opportunity to do whatever they want. It's a very well-known school. So let's say you are doing a degree from Purdue, which does not have a job specific value. Let's say you are pursuing a degree but doesn't have a job specific value. But there's another school called San Jose University or Santa Clara University, which is
Yes.
in California, which not many people know because it's not an Ivy League school. It's not very highly ranked, but students from there get job everywhere because it's in California, right at the Silicon Valley. It's like it's like, for example, you do a degree from a university in Bangalore, which is not well known, versus you do a degree from let's say IIT Guwahati, right? IITs are well known. IIT Guwahati may offer you opportunity, but doesn't mean that IIT Bangalore, but doesn't mean the college which is at Bangalore would provide you that opportunity. So location is also very important,
Yes.
right? So what I'm trying to tell you is, whenever you're gonna choose in a school, make sure that, because I think your idea is after you graduate you want to have a job, correct? You don't want to be in a situation where you graduate and there is no job for you, correct?
Yes.
So and let's say if you take a loan, that becomes very important for you is to have a degree where you are able to get a job easily. Because many times what happens is you will have a job, you will graduate, but then you are looking for a job. You would like, you won't like to have that situation. Getting into an Ivy League schools will be tough. Getting a scholarships in Ivy League school would be extremely tough. So
Yes.
keep that in mind. That's a reality. So if I was you, my advice would be is couple of advices. Number one, first of all, I think, as I said to you, don't have this mindset that I have this low GPA, so I couldn't get into Ivy League school. Doesn't matter. I think you have done pretty good job and doing some extracurricular stuff. So that's really good. My only advice would be is number one, when you give your SAT exam, you have told me the scores. I don't know whether those scores are extremely good or not, but one thing for sure, your percentage in your school will not matter that much, but your SAT score will matter quite a lot, because it's a standardized score. And for any university, let's say there are students from China, from Korea, from India, from Europe are applying. For them, the score is a standardized test. They can evaluate every person based on that score. It's very hard to judge them based on GPA because, Some courses are easy, some courses are hard. Some colleges do very high grading, very hard grading. Some colleges don't, so it's very tough for them to do that evaluation. But SAT score, I would say, don't screw that up. That's number one. Okay, so that's number one. Just write it down. Don't screw up your SAT score. You have to do a good job there, as good as you can.
Yes,
Better you do it one time is good. If not, make sure when you give it twice, make sure you do a good job there. That's number one. Okay, number two,
yes,
when you're going to apply for schools, I would say have a good mix. Just don't go by hinge saying that I want to go to Ivy League and that's the only one I want to go, and there is nothing wrong in it. If you are very extremely confident about it, that's fine. But I would have ABC list of ABC universities. A means Ivy League, B means they are not Ivy Leagues, but they are good, and C means they are somewhere where I'm safer, where I'm pretty sure I will get an admission based on my score, based on, so have those three categories. And usually I think students, what they do is they apply at Ivy League, probably let's say 4 or 5 universities you can select, then you can select next five and next five, something like that. So have like 15 colleges. If you want to pay more money, you can have 20 list of 20 colleges, but have a good mix in your in your selection. Just don't go just by Ivy League. If your CV is good enough, you will get into Ivy League. If it's not, then you will have chances to get into college, the category B. And if not, you will have chance in category C. Because remember, your aim is to get into a school in US and admission. You don't want to be in a situation where you don't have an admission at all. Understood?
yes, yes, sir.
Okay. Then the last other thing I will say, when you select the university B and C, okay, those categories B and C, make sure that you also take care of the location. Okay,
Yes,
as I told you, if I was you, I will blindly apply to San Jose University. I will blindly apply to Santa Clara University because they are in Silicon Valley area. That's where most of the IT companies are. That's where Google are. That's where Amazon are. You you got to apply to those places. There's no if and but.
yes,
Okay, because as I said, it is a higher chances for you to get a job from there as compared to any other places. So have that in mind. The third thing, the last thing I think I want to talk about is the scholarship part of it, right? As I said to you, the chances for you to get a scholarship in Ivy League will be tough. The chances for you, okay, so here's another thing, another catch here. You will find again, is location wise and everything, you will find schools who are private schools, just like for example MIT is a private school. University of California Berkeley, which is a very good school just like MIT, but it's a public school. You will find schools which are private schools, their tuition fees is twice or thrice as compared to public schools. So let's say, for example, there is a University of California and there is this MIT, right? You know, MIT's tuition and everything cost you $50,000 a year. And Berkeley is going to cost you $24,000 a year. And let's say MIT is offering you a scholarship of $10,000. So 50 minus 10 is still 40,000. But California, Berkeley is not offering a scholarship, but it's still $24,000. So keep that in mind, that sometimes in US private schools, what they do, their tuition fees is so high, they give you so-called scholarship, but in my opinion, that doesn't add up the value. Do you understand
yes,
my point?
yes, sir.
Yeah, so keep that in mind. The net, the final net value is more important. What is the money that you're paying at the end, regardless of the scholarship or not? So as I said to you, many private schools do that, many liberal arts college do that, because again, liberal arts colleges are not cheap, they are expensive, hugely expensive. And I'm not sure if I recommend you to go to a liberal arts school based on just the just the location wise also, but at the same time, from the opportunity perspective, I would rather go to a school which is very technology oriented.
Yes, sir.
So do you understand all these points?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but as I said to you, in my personal opinion, unless and until some students are extremely brilliant, for example, they have nailed in mathematics Olympiad, or they have nailed something like a SAT score like 100%, whatever. I have not heard college giving 100% scholarship. So still, you have to bring it some money from your pocket, or pay some money from your pocket.
Yes, sir.
But there's another thing a lot of students do when they go to a school or join a school. Undergrad is little tough because your coursework is a lot, but students are allowed to work 40 hours a week in a school, in campus, in a library, in a cafeteria or somewhere. So students somehow manage that. They try to figure it out how to take care of on those 40 hours, make some money, so at least you are able to pay for your food and for your housing. The
Yes, sir.
students do that all the time.
Yeah.
And
So one more thing I wanted to ask was, does ranking of a university matter? Like,
in
if
what
the
sense?
university is,
In what
yeah,
sense?
like top 100 universities or top 150
No,
universities.
what I'm saying, ranking in terms of what?
Just a general ranking that's there on the internet, like this is the top 100 universities and you should apply to these. So
Yeah,
if
yeah, yeah. No,
my
no, I
university
understand. But
is not,
my question to you is ranking in terms of what? The reason why I'm asking you this question is there are many sense, right? You said, hey, can I get into an MIT because I can get a better job versus some other university where I may not be able to get a better job? Or is it in terms of, oh, if I want to go and want to become a professor in a university after that, is going to MIT is a better choice or going to other universities? That's what I'm asking. In what sense?
yeah. So the general sense will be like job
Okay, okay.
opportunity or
Okay. So in
yeah.
terms of job opportunities, as I just mentioned to you earlier also, location, in my opinion, location is important.
So,
School ranking is important, but as I told you, universities like San Jose University, which has no ranking, you will find people getting jobs in Google and Amazon, just like people at MIT. But if you go to, let's say, for example, University of Texas at some location, which is, let's say, a decent university which comes under grade B, I feel that the students over there, just because of the location, may not get that opportunity because they don't have these companies in their backyard, as compared to some of these universities which are right at the hub of those Silicon Valley. So what I'm saying, that's what I said to you, is make sure when you apply, have a good mix of ABC. And when you choose, because A is very easy to choose, what are Ivy Leagues? You can count them in fingers, right? You can choose them. But when you choose university B and C, if I was you, I will make sure that they are at the location where it's easier to get the job. So for example, if are these universities in Texas, because Texas is very IT, very job oriented, are these universities in California? So just make sure, have that in mind. And again, these universities has to be, because you are going for a computer science degree and all that, I would say choose a location where you can say, okay, Google search it, universities, or probably you can Google searches, for example, Google, Amazon, where are their headquarters or locations, and you will find those are in Texas, those are in California, maybe New York, and places like that. So it will be very easy for you to figure that out. But doesn't it I but what I'm saying, your chances of getting a job will be much higher. That's where I have seen, to be honest with you. If you get into Ivy League, good for you, no
yeah.
problem. Yeah, go ahead.
So what all locations do you suggest for computer science?
California is the best, but again, going to California is going to be expensive also, right? Because the housing will be
Yeah.
expensive there. But I'm pretty sure the students may get some subsidized housing there. Look for, as I said, look for San Jose University, look for Santa Clara, San Francisco Bay Area, that we call it Silicon Valley, right? That would be a number one choice. Austin, Texas, Austin will be a good choice too. New York is
Yes.
definitely a good choice. What else? I mean, as I said, in general, California, your Seattle, Seattle location is good, and Washington, Seattle is a good location. Yeah. And as I said to you, just keep that in mind again, that the public schools will be a lot cheaper than going to a private school. Just keep that in mind. So for example, if you go to University of Texas school systems, like Texas Austin, Texas Arlington, Texas A&M, lot cheaper, way cheaper. You can go to their website and look at their numbers, way cheaper. If you go to University of California school system, like University of California, Santa Barbara, Irvine, Davis, Berkeley, lot cheaper. But if you go to private school, Santa Clara, San Jose, MITs, all those, these are all private ones. They would be expensive. So
Yes, sir.
keep that in mind. And as I said to you, the way these private school play is they will raise their tuition twice as public school or sometimes thrice, and then give you $5,000 scholarship. And you're like, oh, I'm getting a scholarship, but essentially you are paying more.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's it from my side, like all the questions.
Okay. Yeah, Tanish, it's good. I think, as I said to you, the one question that you had on grades, I think that doesn't matter, to be honest with you, in my opinion, that much. Don't get, don't fail or something, but other than if you maintain 75% or higher, sometimes they want you to translate that into a GPA, which I think some websites can do that for you, I think. So look at, if you are above 3.5 GPA or something, I think you should be good. So they can translate your percentage to a GPA. So you can Google it and say, okay, how much, this is my percentage from India, how much that is equivalent to GPA. So anything above 3.5 should be good enough.
So one last question.
Yeah.
For the early decision, which university should I apply?
As I said to you, ABC, do that ABC. As simple as
Yes.
that. Yep.
So for early decision, only one university that it's only one university that we can apply to. So
Oh, okay.
which mm,
Um, I would say it totally, because if that is the case, it's going to totally depend on your confidence level. But I will go with someone which is B. So I will go with a university like um, any university which is in California but is a public university. I will go with that one. As I said, University of California Irvine, University of California Santa Barbara, University of California Davis, any university which is considered University of California school system. Because again, the reason is because number one, it's a public university, so the cost will be less. Number two, it's in California. Number three, University of California school system is highly ranked. It's not an Ivy League, but it's highly ranked.
is
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
No
It
problem.
is really thoughtful.
Yeah. I hope you find this helpful, Tanish. And if you have any question in the future, let me know. Okay.
Yeah, sure, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You said, Tanish,
Thank
did you get my information from someone? Do you know who's that person?
uh, so I got to know about you from YouTube only. Like I
Okay. Okay.
was going through
Okay.
advice and also I found your channel.
Sure, sure. And as I said, if you find any of your friends or someone who is looking for help, you can send them my information. Okay, more than happy to help.
Yeah, sure, sir.
Sure, no
I'll be
problem. And good luck. I think you are doing a good job. So you should be proud of yourself. Okay.
yeah. Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
Thanks a
no
lot.
problem. Yeah. Bye.
Bye, sir.